Hey Scentsy fans, it's Sarah from Scentsy with Sarah Lynn. This is part 2, kind of like a follow-up to, I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet. I guess, why Scentsy video, or why not candles? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to call it. Anyways, this is part 2, just the follow-up, I suppose. Because in the first section of this video, I discuss why I stopped purchasing and burning candles in my home. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that say, okay, so you've covered paraffin wax, the dangers of soot in your home. You know, that's great, you don't burn candles, but now you're warming wax. And what is in the wax to give us all of those delicious home fragrances that we know and love? And it's synthetic scents, synthetic fragrance. Scentsy is no different than the synthetic fragrance oils that they put in Bath and Body Works candles and everything else. So the dangers of synthetic scents, if you type that into Google, here are just a few things that are going to pop up on page 1. Cancer, asthma, kidney damage, birth defects, hormone disruptors, central nervous system disorders, tons of crazy things. Then I also want to challenge you, go back to Google tuna, Google cell phones, Google microwaves, my personal favorite, Google Sephora. Okay, if you ever go into Sephora and ask them for a product, any product that is synthetic fragrance free, they'll look at you like, we don't have that. Not one product in Sephora is synthetic fragrance free. Is that a bad thing? No. But again, is it the end of the world? Probably not. It is what it is. Synthetic fragrance oils are in everything. Our home fragrance, our perfumes and colognes, what else? Bathroom sprays. Goodness knows that's in an aerosol can. Hello. Terrible for the planet. So the problem with synthetic fragrance is that it kind of falls under this safety umbrella where companies don't have to disclose the ingredients or the chemical compounds that make up the synthetic fragrance. So they get away with listing it as just, as Scentsy does, it's home fragrance. They don't have to tell you what's in it. Perfume companies, cologne companies, it's just perfume or cologne. Look at your bottles of perfume on your dresser. Like, where's the ingredients listing? There isn't one, because synthetic scents are covered under this umbrella of they don't have to tell you what's in it. This is funny because every other company has to, as well as, you know, there's regulations and stipulations on everything. They even have to tell you if it's tested on animals. But with synthetic fragrance, nobody has to tell you what chemical compounds are in it. So I guess this is the follow-up video to the naysayers who say, well, just because you're not burning candles doesn't mean that you're safe. And if you watch the first section of the video, I'm not in any way endorsing Scentsy or saying Scentsy is the only safe alternative. Scentsy won't burn my house down. Warming my synthetic fragrance, in my opinion, is better than burning it. I'm not risking lead wicks. I'm not risking paraffin wax. So is warming it the lesser of two evils? Perhaps. Am I still releasing synthetic chemical compounds into my environment Absolutely. So the biggest ingredient that people are worried about, and rightfully so, is benzene. So when you find benzene in products, which is in all synthetic fragrances, it's a big red flag for cancer-causing agent, especially in synthetic fragrance. And companies like Avon. Avon's always raising money for different cancers. I think the last one I saw was thyroid cancer, which is super admirable. Like, wicked, fantastic for Avon, love it. But Avon has synthetic fragrance and benzene, much like Sephora, pretty much in everything in their catalog, including the all-natural children's line. So you can raise all the money to combat the cancer, but we can start by taking the synthetic scents out of, like, kids' lotion. It's supposed to be, you know, a kid's all-natural lotion that you could put on them, or soap to bathe them, you know. Take the benzene out of that. That would be a start. And don't get me wrong, this is not a video to hate on Sephora or to hate on Avon, because all companies are the same. Avon's not alone. Sephora's not alone. I go into like my Whole Foods store where they want $1 bajillion for this all-natural kids body lotion, and there's synthetic fragrance in that too. I'm like, how's that all natural? That's not all natural. And, you know, I guess what I'm saying is, if you want to start somewhere, start with, you know, in the areas where the benzene or the synthetic fragrances are unnecessary. When you try and patent a product or promote it or endorse it as an all-natural product, how about you take out the chemicals that are associated with asthma, skin sensitivity, and every other side effect that I listed in the beginning of this video. I can't even remember them all. It's crazy. So Scentsy isn't exempt from this either. And one of the biggest things that anti-Scentsy people, I guess, say is that Scentsy keeps their formula a secret. And to me, I mean, nobody's going to steal your formula if you trademark and patent it. There's a bajillion other wax tart companies out there doing their own thing and kicking ass. Like, I know there's some vendor waxes like Super Tarts, who does amazing. There's even beeswax tarts now. There's soy tarts, which are better than the paraffin wax. So I don't think Scentsy has anything to worry about anybody stealing their thunder. I mean, Scentsy's huge. So it's no secret that there are synthetic chemicals or the synthetic fragrance in Scentsy wax. But I think as a mom, as a consumer, just as an everyday person, you kind of just got to pick your battles. Like, I gave up my microwave 10 years ago, and I learned to adjust, and I warmed everything up on the stove. You know, there's ways around it, and much like I said in my original video, you're going to be exposed to all of these things, but it's my job as a mom, and just for my own sake and my own health, to limit the amount of exposure. I've done a lot worse things to my body voluntarily, especially in my younger days, that would cause serious damage than the amount of synthetic oils that I warm in my house. So I'm not going to be living in a bubble anytime soon, or, you know, making sure my deodorant is perfectly all natural without synthetic oils, because, you know, God forbid I'm going to grow out my armpit hair and braid it and become hippie either. I just want to find a comfortable middle ground where you can't sacrifice everything that you enjoy and that you love, but if you can find a comfortable middle ground and limit your exposure to chemicals. For instance, Google processed food. Google side effects of soda, for goodness sake. Like, I think this is one of America's biggest problems. I mean, there's 100 different things that we can live and be fearful of. warming synthetic fragrances isn't high on my list of things to be scared of. So if these videos help, great. If not, again, this is just my personal opinion, my experiences with home fragrance and candles versus wax tarts and one company versus the next, and pick a middle ground and don't give up everything that you love out of fear. Find a happy medium. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, hit the bell for future notifications, and join me again for another episode of Scentsy with Sarah Lynn.